The history of the Australian 20-cent coin from 1980 is a fascinating journey that connects numismatic design innovation, national symbolism, and the broader story of Australia's economy and identity since decimalisation. The 20-cent coin was first introduced in 1966 when Australia switched from the pre-decimal pound system to the decimal dollar system, replacing the old florin coin. Its creation marked a turning point in the nation's monetary history, reflecting a modernization of the currency system and a new artistic direction in coinage. The design of the 20-cent coin was entrusted to Stuart Devlin, who later became known as the goldsmith and jeweler to the Queen. Devlin's work for Australia's new decimal coins was widely praised for its creativity and symbolism. The reverse of the 20-cent coin features the platypus, a unique and iconic Australian animal that embodies the diversity of the nation's wildlife. The image of the platypus gliding gracefully through rippling waterlines became one of the most recognizable coin designs in the world. The obverse side bears the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, reflecting Australia's constitutional monarchy and its historical ties to the British Crown. The 1980 edition of the Australian 20-cent coin was struck during an era of growing national confidence and economic development in Australia. The coin was produced at both the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra and the Royal Mint's branch in London to meet production demands. The total mintage exceeded 65 million pieces, making it one of the most common coins in circulation at the time. However, what makes the 1980 20-cent coin interesting to collectors today is not its rarity, but its variety and the subtle differences between mint marks. There are coins from Canberra with no mint mark and coins struck in London bearing a small dot near the platypus's head. These varieties can attract collectors, especially when found in uncirculated or proof condition. The composition of the 1980 20-cent coin remained consistent with earlier issues. It was made from copper-nickel, an alloy of 75% copper and 25% nickel. The coin has a diameter of 28.65 millimeters and weighs 11.3 grams, giving it a distinctive feel and sound when handled. The edge is milled, adding both texture and protection against wear. Throughout the late 1970s and early 1980s, the 20-cent coin was an essential part of everyday Australian life, used widely for public transport, vending machines, newspapers, and small purchases. Its durability and elegant design made it a mainstay in Australian wallets for decades. As time went on, the coin's platypus design became a cultural icon, appearing in educational materials and even commemorative issues, highlighting Australia's native fauna. In 1980, the economic landscape of Australia was shifting. The country was diversifying its industries, moving away from heavy reliance on agriculture and mining and towards a more modern industrial and service-based economy. Inflation and price adjustments meant that the 20-cent coin had increasing importance in small transactions and daily commerce. The coin's continued production also reflected Australia's commitment to maintaining a high-quality national coinage system that balanced functionality with artistry. In terms of collector interest, the 1980 20-cent coin is not considered rare, but it holds value as a piece of history representing the evolution of Australian decimal currency. Coins in mint state condition or proof sets can command higher prices among collectors, especially those with clear striking and lustrous surfaces. Some proof versions were included in official mint sets produced for numismatists, which remain popular today. In summary, the history of the Australian 20-cent coin of 1980 tells a broader story about Australia's modern identity, economic progress, and artistic expression through coinage. It stands as a continuation of Stuart Devlin's remarkable vision of uniting beauty and practicality in everyday currency. The platypus design remains timeless and beloved, symbolizing the nation's respect for its wildlife and its pride in its unique heritage. Even today, decades later, the 1980 20-cent coin continues to circulate as a reminder of an era of transformation, creativity, and national pride in Australian history. The story of the Australian 20-cent coin of 1980 goes far deeper than its design and composition. It connects to the broader evolution of Australia's monetary system, the growth of its minting technology, and the country's changing place in the global economy. Since the introduction of decimal currency in 1966, Australia's coins have been symbols of national identity, technological progress, and economic adaptation. The 1980 issue came at a time when Australia was stabilizing after the inflationary pressures of the 1970s and preparing for the economic reforms of the 1980s that would reshape the nation's financial landscape. To understand the importance of the 1980 20-cent coin, it helps to recall the journey from the pre-decimal system to the decimal era. Before 1966, Australians used pounds, shillings, and pence, which were based on the British monetary model. 1 pound equaled 20 shillings, and each shilling was 12 pence. When decimalization arrived, the new dollar was set to equal 10 shillings or half a pound. This change made calculations easier and aligned Australia's currency system with international standards. The 20-cent coin directly replaced the florin, which had a similar size and value. The transition was smooth and the new coinage was widely accepted by the public. The 20-cent coin became one of the most used denominations in Australia because of its practical value and sturdy design. The 1980 version continued the high standards established by the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra, which had been producing coins since its official opening in 1965. The Mint's goal was to create coins that were both beautiful and durable, able to withstand decades of circulation without significant wear. The 20-cent coin was made of cupra nickel, an alloy chosen for its resistance to corrosion and tarnish, a crucial factor in Australia's diverse climate, ranging from coastal humidity to dry inland heat. In 1980, Australia was in a period of transition. The government led by Prime Minister Malcolm Fraser was managing an economy facing rising unemployment and global challenges caused by fluctuations in oil prices and trade balances. Despite these issues, Australia's currency remained stable, and the 20-cent coin was one of the symbols of that everyday stability. Its presence in shops, buses, and homes represented reliability and national pride. The artistry of the coin also played a major role in its cultural impact. Stuart Devlin, the designer, was renowned for his ability to merge realism with motion. His depiction of the platypus on the 20-cent coin was inspired by hours of studying the creature's movements underwater. He wanted the ripples to create a sense of life and energy, a reflection of the Australian spirit. The design was not only aesthetic but educational. It introduced generations of Australians to one of their most distinctive native animals. The choice of the platypus was significant because it is one of the few mammals that lay eggs, and it exists only in Australia, representing uniqueness and adaptability, two traits often associated with the Australian identity. On the obverse side, the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II was updated in 1979 to the second definitive effigy designed by Arnold Machine. This is the portrait seen on the 1980 coin. It shows a more mature depiction of the Queen wearing the royal tiara, a symbol of continuity and Commonwealth unity. This image was used until 1984, when it was replaced by the Raphael Makhlouf portrait. The presence of the Queen's image reaffirmed Australia's ties to the monarchy, while the reverse design highlighted its independent character. Production of the 1980 20-cent coin occurred in both Australia and the United Kingdom to meet the nation's currency needs. The London minted coins can be identified by a tiny dot near the platypus's head, while those made in Canberra lack this mark. These details fascinate collectors because they reflect the logistics of coin production and international cooperation between mints. During this period, Australia occasionally relied on overseas facilities to supplement its domestic minting capacity, particularly during times of high demand or when new denominations were being introduced. Another important historical context for the 1980 20-cent coin is its role in public memory. Many Australians from that era remember the coin as part of daily life. It was used in payphones, newspapers, postage, and even the classic milk bars and corner shops that defined Australian neighborhoods of the time. Because of its size and weight, it was easily recognizable and had a satisfying solidity that modern lightweight coins lack. As the years went on and technology advanced, the 20-cent coin remained largely unchanged, a testament to the enduring strength of Devlin's original design. From a numismatic perspective, the 1980 20-cent coin is part of the ongoing story of Australian decimal coinage. Collectors today look for variations, such as proof issues minted in limited numbers for coin sets. These proof coins have mirror-like surfaces and sharp details, and they were not meant for circulation. They are treasured pieces of Australia's minting craftsmanship.